Alright, let's talk about problems. We all have them, big ones, small ones. Sometimes a machine breaks down at the workshop, sometimes a project goes completely off the rails. What do we usually do? We slap a patch on it, we fix the immediate issue and move on. Then a week later, then a month later, the same problem pops up again. It's frustrating, right? Feels like you're stuck in a loop. You're not actually solving anything, you're just dealing with annoying symptoms over and over. This is the duct tape approach. It holds for a little while, but it's never a permanent fix. You're just kicking the can down the road. So, what makes the Appolo RCA method special? Why this one? Well, think about it like this. A lot of problem-solving methods can get really complicated really fast. They have you filling out endless forms and getting lost in complex diagrams. The beauty of the Appolo method is its simplicity and its relentless focus on cause and effect. Problems don't just happen, they are caused, and those causes are caused by other things. It's a chain reaction. The Appolo method gives you a clear visual way to map out that entire chain reaction from the final problem all the way back to the beginning. The core is a cause and effect chart. We'll build one together later. It's not just a list of possible reasons. It's a structured map that shows exactly how one thing led to another. It forces you to think critically and to connect the dots based on hard evidence, not gut feelings. The Appolo method separates the why from the who. It's about understanding the system, not finding someone to blame. Most problems arise from flawed processes, faulty equipment, or poor conditions. Not one person's mistake. When you can see the whole story, finding the right places to intervene becomes obvious. You're no longer guessing. Be precise, thorough, and effective. That's Appolo RCA. Everything starts here. If you don't know exactly what problem you're trying to solve, you're just shooting in the dark. Step 1 is about defining the problem with absolute, undeniable clarity. This is the primary effect, the main undesirable outcome that kicked off the investigation. Think of it as the headline of your story. It needs to be precise and factual. No opinions, no theories, no assumptions. Ask, what specifically is the problem? When did it happen? Where did it happen? What was the impact? You need the what, where, when, and significance all wrapped up in one clear statement. For example, a 1-gallon puddle of water was discovered on the workshop floor, under the main sink, at 8:00 a.m. on August 27, 2025, causing a slip hazard. See the difference? The statement is factual and in scope. This sets the boundaries for your investigation. It's your North Star. Everything must link back to this statement. If it doesn't, it's outside the scope. For now, be a reporter. Collect the undisputed facts. No opinions, no theories, just evidence. For now, just define the problem. That's your only job. Now we get to the heart of the Appolo method, building the cause and effect chart. This is where we become detectives. It's a visual brainstorming tool that helps us map out the story of our problem. Start with your clearly defined problem. Put it in a box on the right-hand side of the board. Ask the magic question, what caused this? For every answer, draw a box to the left and connect it with an arrow. Keep asking what caused that. Work backward in time, branching left until you can't go further. Each box should be a simple, factual action or condition. We see, water was on the floor. Evidence points to the sink area. Water leaked from under the sink. Cause, PVC pipe was cracked. Another branch, compression fitting was loose. Both can point to the leak. Multiple causes can lead to one effect. Draw both and keep digging left. Ask, what caused the PVC to crack? Maybe it was struck by a heavy object, or why was the fitting loose? Perhaps it wasn't tightened to spec during the last repair. Read the chart left to right as a logical story, a complete visual timeline. The goal? A simple, powerful narrative that shows how causes lead to the effect. This is the part that separates a real investigation from a brainstorming session. Every single cause you put on your chart must be backed by evidence. Evidence is the bedrock of the process. Physical evidence. The cracked pipe. See it? Touch it. Solid proof. Photographic or video evidence. Take a photo of it. Documentation, maintenance logs, computer data, sensor readouts, witness testimony, interviews. If a worker says a heavy box hit the pipe, that's evidence to verify. Look for scuff marks, dents, photo timestamps. Prove loose fitting with a torque wrench and compare to the manufacturer's spec. If no evidence exists, mark it as possible and keep investigating. No solid line until proven. This prevents rabbit holes from gut feelings. Be rigorous. No evidence means it can't be a fact. It keeps investigations grounded in reality. Base conclusions on demonstrable facts. In science and good engineering, we trust data. If someone proposes a cause, the facilitator should ask, great idea, how can we prove it? That rigor gives your conclusions power and credibility. Once your chart is built and every cause is supported by evidence, you have a complete picture of what happened. Now comes the payoff. Step 3 is about identifying effective solutions. Your chart shows the entire chain so you can see intervention points. A reactive solution: replace the cracked pipe and tighten the fitting. Necessary corrective actions: stop the leak, but stopping there doesn't address why the pipe cracked or why the fitting was loose. Go upstream. If the pipe can be struck, install a protective guard. That's a systemic change. If fittings weren't tightened to spec, update the procedure with clear torque values and provide torque wrenches as standard tools. Provide the right tools and training. That changes behavior and reduces repeat failures. Brainstorm solutions for each cause, then evaluate them for cost and effectiveness. Choose the most impactful. Create a layered defense, immediate fixes plus upstream controls and system improvements. Fix the immediate problem, add controls, and improve the system for the future. That's how you achieve real, lasting change. Practical solutions aimed at root causes. Address immediate fixes, then strengthen the system. That's the Appolo approach to lasting reliability. Even with a great method, there are common traps. Knowing them ahead saves headaches. The biggest mistake: jumping to conclusions. Fight that urge. Don't start with a solution and work backward to justify it. Start with the problem. Let evidence guide the causes. Stay disciplined and follow the process. Another pitfall is the blame game. When sessions become "who did this?" you lose the real insight. Focus on actions and conditions, not people. Create a safe space for honesty. A third mistake: not digging deep enough. Push at least 5 whys deep on each chain. The real systemic fixes are several layers down. A chart built on assumptions is a house of cards. It will collapse under scrutiny. If someone proposes a cause, ask, "How can we prove it?" Rigor turns your chart into credible conclusions. Don't skip the hard work of gathering facts. Every link in your chain must be solid. You've done the hard work, now what? You can't just leave it on a whiteboard. The final step is to document and communicate your findings. Start with the problem definition, your primary effect. Then include your cause and effect chart. The chart is the star. Anyone can understand the chain of events in minutes. List recommended solutions and clearly state which cause each addresses. Include who is responsible, the deadline, and how you'll measure success. That creates accountability. Set KPIs so you know the fix worked. Turn the investigation into an actionable plan. Assign owners and dates. This report becomes a historical document. When a similar issue appears later, you can learn from it. Share widely. A lesson learned in one area can prevent failure in another. Think of the report as the start of implementation and learning, not the end. Document clearly, connect solutions to causes, assign owners, set metrics. That's how change actually happens. There you have it, Appolo RCA demystified. It's not mystical, it's step by step. It's a tool, like a wrench or a multimeter. Its power is using it correctly and consistently. We walked through the whole thing: define the problem, build the evidence-based chart, brainstorm solutions, document and implement. You can't learn this by reading alone. You have to do it. Start small. Next time you face a nagging problem, grab a piece of paper, define the problem, ask why, and map causes. You'll be amazed at the clarity you gain. Don't fear messy drafts. Practice makes it natural. The more you use this thinking, the more natural it becomes. Make RCA practice routine. You'll start to see the world in terms of cause and effect, and you'll become a better problem solver. So go on, find a problem, bust its root cause, build a better solution. Problems aren't unsolvable. You just need the right method. Practice Appolo RCA. Start small, act, and share what you learn. Subscribe for more practical workshops and templates.